Hello, I'm Daryl Van Sickle with Remax Twin City and HomesMadeSimple.ca. This video is to help guide you through working with a real estate agent just like me in Ontario. First off, know that all real estate agents like myself are registered, which means we've completed the necessary education and have insurance for consumer deposits and professional liability. Now let's talk about what I can do for you. If you're selling your home, I can advise you on market conditions, the best strategies to attract buyers, and how to get the best price for your home. I'll help market your home, which includes arranging photos, videos, and virtual tours. I can also refer you to other professionals you might need during this process, like lawyers or home staging companies. Plus, I'll arrange and attend home inspections and appraisals, handle showings, deal with offers, and help you negotiate the best price and terms. If you're looking to buy, I'll assist with getting pre-approvals for financing, inform you about any tax exemptions you might qualify for, and gather information about homes and neighborhoods that meet your needs. I'll also help with inquiries about zoning or property use, advise on offer strategies, and guide you through all the paperwork to close the deal successfully. As your agent, I owe you some key duties. These include undivided loyalty, which means I'll always put your interests first. I'll disclose everything I know that could impact your decisions and keep your information confidential. Avoiding conflicts of interest is crucial for me, and if any arise, I'll let you know right away. But please remember, as a client, you also have responsibilities. Be clear about what you want, respond promptly to my questions, understand your agreement with the brokerage, and be prepared to pay the agreed fees. Working with a realtor like me offers many benefits, but it's also important to understand your role and responsibilities in this partnership. Feel free to ask any questions, and let's make your real estate journey a success. Now that we have covered working with a real estate agent, let's discuss the risks of representing yourself in a real estate transaction. First, it's important to consider the scenario where you might choose to represent yourself in a real estate transaction. If you're not a client of a real estate brokerage, you are considered a self-represented party. This is a path few buyers or sellers take, and it comes with different rights and responsibilities. When you represent yourself, you won't have the benefit of the services, opinions, and advice of an experienced real estate agent. This means you will need to handle various aspects of the transaction yourself, such as making inquiries about the property, assessing its value, negotiating offers, and managing all the necessary documentation. Also, remember that if the other party in the transaction has an agent, that agent is legally obligated to act in the best interests of their client, not yours. If you're a buyer, for example, and the agent is working for the seller, everything you tell the agent, like your budget or reasons for buying, can be shared with their client, potentially to your disadvantage. Moreover, the agent working for the other party cannot provide you with any services, opinions, or advice. They can't do anything that would encourage you to rely on their knowledge, skill, or judgment, nor can they encourage you to represent yourself or discourage you from working with another real estate agent or brokerage. In summary, while representing yourself in a real estate transaction is an option, it carries significant risks, especially if you lack the necessary knowledge and expertise. Always consider seeking independent professional advice in such situations, and know that if you are concerned about completing a transaction on your own or you need advice from a real estate agent, you can choose to become a client of a real estate brokerage at any point during the transaction. Continuing our discussion, let's explore the process of signing a contract with a real estate brokerage when you decide to become a client. When you sign up with a brokerage, you enter into a representation agreement. This is a formal contract between you and the brokerage, outlining the services and representation you'll receive. It's important to note that without this agreement, you should not expect any services from the real estate agent, like showing you homes. In Ontario, there are two main types of representation agreements: brokerage representation, where the brokerage and all its agents represent you, and designated representation, where one or more agents from the brokerage are your designated representatives. In a designated representation, it's vital to have the name of your designated representative clearly specified in the contract. This type of agreement reduces the likelihood of multiple representation, a situation where the brokerage represents more than one party in a transaction. Your agreement must be put in writing and presented to you as soon as possible. It should clearly detail the duties owed to you, the services you'll receive, your rights and responsibilities, what you will pay, and specific terms of the agreement, including its duration and how you can cancel it. Here are a few key things to look for. Number one, the scope of your agreement. For sellers, it will identify the specific property, and for buyers, it might specify a particular property, geographic area, type of property, or other specific requirements. For example, if you are looking for both a house in a particular city and a cottage property near a lake, and want to work with different real estate agents with local and property type expertise for each, the scope should be clear in each of the agreements to avoid any disputes about who you might have to pay if you buy a property. Number two, the services you will receive under the agreement. These services must be clearly set out, and you should choose the services that best meet your needs. There is no standard set of services. Brokerages offer a variety of service options. You can choose the services you want and best meet your needs. And number three, the payment amount and terms. These are not fixed and are decided between you and the brokerage. You can agree to pay a fixed dollar amount, a percentage of the sale price, or a combination of both. It's important to understand the circumstances under which the agreed amounts might change. Now let's talk about termination provisions. The agreement should list all circumstances when it can be terminated, including any penalties or costs. Be particularly aware of situations involving multiple representation or changing your designated representative. The agreement must also clearly state its expiry date, which can vary in length. Finally, most representation agreements include a holdover clause. This clause may require you to pay the brokerage fees for a transaction that happens after the agreement expires. A holdover clause is designed to protect the brokerage, and there is no minimum or set time for a holdover period. The length of the holdover period should be something you are comfortable with before signing the agreement. Understanding these aspects of a representation agreement is crucial for a smooth real estate transaction. Let's now move on to understanding multiple representation in real estate transactions. Multiple representation occurs when a designated representative or a brokerage represents more than one client with competing interests in the same transaction. This situation can arise in different ways depending on the type of representation agreement involved. In brokerage representation, multiple representation exists when the brokerage represents both the buyer and seller in the same transaction, or two or more buyers interested in the same property, even if they are working with different real estate agents. In designated representation, it occurs when the same real estate agent is the designated representative for both the buyer and seller, or for multiple buyers competing for the same property. It's important to know that multiple representation is only allowed if all clients involved give their consent. You should consider seeking independent professional advice, such as from a real estate lawyer, before proceeding in such situations. The brokerage or your designated representative has a duty to protect your best interests and avoid conflicts of interest. If they enter into an agreement with another client who is interested in the same property, it leads to a situation of multiple representation, introducing various risks that need careful consideration. In cases of multiple representation, the brokerage or designated representative must treat all clients involved in an objective and impartial manner. They cannot maintain undivided loyalty to one client over another, and they cannot advise on matters like the price to offer or accept, or the terms to be included in a purchase and sale agreement. Before you agree to multiple representation, the brokerage is required to provide you with a written disclosure explaining how their duties to you will change, the differences in the services you will receive, and any changes to the fees you pay the brokerage. This disclosure must be agreed upon in writing by all clients involved in the transaction before the brokerage or designated representative can proceed on behalf of any of the clients. Remember, you have the right to refuse multiple representation. If you don't agree to it, the brokerage or your designated representative cannot proceed. You can ask about alternatives, such as being referred to another brokerage or a different designated representative, especially if you are a buyer looking to make an offer on a property. Agreeing to multiple representation significantly changes what the brokerage and its agents can do for you, which could have consequences and costs. Moving forward in our discussion, here's a quick note about the content of other offers. In Ontario's real estate market, buyers who have made an offer on a property are entitled to know the number of competing offers. However, the extent of information shared about these offers is at the discretion of the sellers. They can decide how much, if any, additional information about the offers they receive is shared with potential buyers. For sellers, the decision on what to share about competing offers lies entirely with you. Your real estate agent will provide advice based on various factors, including the characteristics of your property, market conditions, and the content of the offers you receive. It's important to remember that you need to give clear, written instructions to your agent before any details of the offers can be disclosed. Remember, personal or identifying information contained in the offers cannot be shared. As a buyer, you have the choice to participate in a process where the content of your offer might be shared with other buyers. Your agent can guide you on the steps to take if you prefer to keep the content of your offer private. However, be aware that the seller has the discretion to share the content of offers at any time, and you may not be informed about this decision in advance. This aspect of real estate transactions highlights the importance of understanding the dynamics of offer sharing and ensuring clear communication with your real estate agent. Now that we understand the dynamics of offer sharing in real estate transactions, let's discuss an important topic: how to make a complaint if you have concerns regarding your real estate transaction in Ontario. If you encounter issues with your real estate transaction, the first step is to contact your brokerage. Many times, the brokerage can mediate or resolve complaints about a real estate agent or the services provided under your representation agreement. To find the right contact, you can search for the brokerage in RECO's public register to locate the broker of record, the individual responsible for ensuring the brokerage's compliance with the law. Remember, the brokerage cannot require you to sign any agreement that prevents you from making or obligates you to withdraw a complaint to RECO. If you need to take your complaint further, you can contact the Real Estate Council of Ontario, RECO. RECO is responsible for overseeing brokerage firms and real estate agents working in Ontario. To file a complaint with RECO, visit the complaints section on the RECO website, which explains the process, possible outcomes, and how to file your complaint. RECO will review your issue to determine its authority to deal with it and decide the next steps. Remember, Ontario brokerages and real estate agents are accountable for their conduct, and you have avenues to address any concerns you might have. We've covered a lot about working with a real estate agent in Ontario today, and I hope it's been helpful for you. Knowing about your rights, how agents work, and what to do if you have concerns is super important, whether you're buying or selling a home. If you ever find yourself with more questions or in need of some guidance on your real estate journey, remember I'm here to help. Navigating the world of real estate can be a big task, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm more than happy to offer my expertise and support whenever you need it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I wish you the best of luck in your real estate endeavors. Until next time, take care.